Judicial Services Commission starting that first day of candidate interviews without the MK party's Dr. Ngcobo, and it comes after the official opposition lost its urgent interdict seeking to postpone the sitting pending the outcome of the Western Cape High Court case. And in that matter, the full bench is yet to make a determination on whether the National Assembly made a rational decision by designating Ngcobo to the JSC despite him being impeached. And today marks the beginning of a nearly 2-week process that seeks to fill 21 vacancies and interview over 50 candidates for judicial posts. Newzroom Afrika's Ziyanda Ngcobo is then keeping an eye on those proceedings for us this morning. Ziyanda, what's the latest?
A very good morning, Iman. Certainly that sideshow, as some have called it, is not going to be taking place, and the official work of the JSC will be getting underway. And one of the interesting things before the actual interviews get underway is the fact that you have an acting deputy chief, a judge president, I beg your pardon, in the Western Cape, and that's Patricia Goliath. And because she's actually applying for the position of judge president, the JSC has had to make a consideration about how they're going to manage that, because usually the judge president has to sit in on that interview. So that's one of the issues that has had to have been deliberated upon this morning by the commission. But let's bring in Judges Matters Alison Tilley to talk more about this. Firstly, this is the biggest set of interviews taking place since the COVID-19 pandemic, and you certainly as Judges Matter have been raising the issue about the quality of the interviews. Now, firstly, most of these commissioners are new. It's a government of national unity. What will you be looking out for the most today?
Well, we're definitely going to be looking for the application of the criteria that the JSC has identified, and we're going to be hoping to see them ask questions consistently across candidates, affording candidates an opportunity to really show why it is that they should be appointed. And of course, we have a new Chief Justice in place, so we're interested in seeing how she manages the interviews and timekeeping. How is this issue around the Deputy Judge President who's now applying for the position of Judge President in the Western Cape Division, do you think it should be dealt with? Well, it's a difficult one because normally you'd rely on the Judge President of the division to sort of introduce the candidate, explain how long it is they've acted for, how many terms, whether their decisions are handed down promptly. In this case, obviously, it's the acting judge president who's being interviewed. It might be that you want to bring in a judge president from another division to help with that, but that can be tricky. Who would know who would be best placed? So that's one of the things that we will expect to see announced in the coming days. And of course, this sitting is set down for almost 2 weeks in essence. And what do you think then some of the key things that need to be asked of these new candidates, especially because you have one constitutional court vacancy that's been around for a couple of years. And there's also this persistent issue around the turnaround time of judgments, in particular in the constitutional court, which is something you've raised quite sharply as well as Judges Matter. I think one of the things we are super concerned about is that there are not enough judges. There are not enough judges on the bench. Even if we manage to get through all of these appointments, with each position having an actual appointment, we'll still be short. And I think that that's something that we really need the JSC to be thinking about, as well as Treasury, as well as the GNU, is how do we fix that problem? Because there's only so much you can do at this level, and obviously it's super important work, but overall, we are facing a serious shortage. All right, so that's Alison Tilley. She's speaking on behalf of Judges Matter, one of those monitoring then the proceedings kicking off today until next week, Iman. But certainly a bit of a quagmire then that the Commission finds itself in, and it will be interesting to see how they resolve this issue around the Western Cape Division, where the acting Judge President, Patricia Goliath, is applying for the position of Judge President, but because she is in an acting capacity as Judge President, I mean, she can't sit in her own interview. So we'll find out as proceedings kick off at this hour how the JSC has opted to resolve this issue.